How to Channel Anger into Success. Welcome to Love Lux Amore, where we talk about self-development and fulfilling our dreams. If you're tuning in for the first time, make sure to hit that like button, leave a comment below sharing your thoughts, and don't forget to subscribe so you never miss out on our content, which is designed to empower you and transform your life. Today, we're diving deep into a topic that many of us struggle with but often misunderstand: anger. More specifically, we're going to explore how you can channel this intense emotion into a powerful force for success. Trust me, by the end of this video, you'll start seeing your anger as a powerful ally. If you're looking for direct tools to manage your emotions and turn them into action, check out our latest courses and resources linked in the description below. Understanding anger. Let's start by getting to know our so-called enemy a little better. Anger is often viewed negatively, as something we should suppress or control. But anger, like any other emotion, serves a purpose. It's a signal, telling us when something isn't right, whether that's when our boundaries are crossed, expectations aren't met, or we feel undervalued. Anger is also incredibly intense, a surge of energy that demands to be felt. The trick, though, is learning to harness it and guide it towards something productive. One of the first things we need to recognize is that anger doesn't always stem from aggression or rage. Sometimes it's subtle, such as frustration when a project at work isn't going your way or resentment when someone constantly disrespects your time. These are all valid forms of anger, and they don't have to be destructive. Instead, they can fuel growth if you channel them correctly. Imagine using the fuel from your anger to push toward your goals, complete tasks you've been avoiding, or stand up for yourself in ways you haven't before. This transformation is not only possible, but it's also incredibly liberating. Identifying the source of anger. Before you can channel anger into something productive, it's important to understand where it comes from. Often, anger is a secondary emotion, meaning it arises in response to other feelings like fear, disappointment, or hurt. By identifying the root cause, you can better control your response. Take a moment to think about your anger triggers. Is it disrespect from coworkers? Maybe a personal relationship that leaves you feeling unappreciated? Or is it frustration over a goal you've been struggling to achieve? Consider the example of someone stuck in a toxic work environment. Every day, they're overlooked for promotions, their hard work goes unrecognized, and their input is disregarded. That anger can spiral into feelings of worthlessness if not addressed. But what if instead of internalizing that anger, they used it as motivation to upskill, search for better job opportunities, or even confront their supervisor about their concerns? By reflecting on the cause of their anger, they can begin turning that wildfire into a controlled burn that clears a path forward. Reflect on the last time you felt angry and what triggered it. How did you react? More importantly, what could you have done differently? This reflection shifts your mindset from a reactionary state to a proactive one, helping you strategize and take constructive action the next time anger arises. Once you've identified the source, the next step is to channel it productively. The science of channeling emotions. From a scientific perspective, anger triggers a fight or flight response in the body, putting us in a heightened state of arousal. This releases a cascade of energy, which, if used wisely, can become a powerful tool for achievement. In fact, anger has a neurological basis. It activates the amygdala, the brain's fear center, which is why we feel that immediate rush of energy or need to react. But there's a way to shift from this reactive state to a more thoughtful one by engaging the prefrontal cortex, the part of the brain responsible for planning, decision-making, and rational thinking. For example, imagine you're angry because a colleague took credit for your idea at work. Instead of reacting impulsively and confronting them in the heat of the moment, pause and engage your rational mind. Maybe you decide to document your contributions for future reference or ask for a meeting with your supervisor to calmly discuss the situation. Learning to make this shift from raw emotion to strategic thinking can be incredibly empowering. By consciously directing your anger toward actionable goals, you're not just managing your emotions, you're turning them into something that drives you toward success. Turning anger into action. Now that we've explored the science behind anger, how do we turn this theory into practice? The next time you feel anger bubbling up, treat it as a signal, a call to act, not just react. Ask yourself, what needs to change here? Then, transform that feeling into a specific action. For example, if you're angry about being overlooked for a promotion at work, instead of stewing in resentment, use that energy to work on a new project or seek out more visibility within your company. This proactive approach shifts the focus from what's wrong to what you can do about it. Another example might be a situation in a personal relationship. Let's say you're angry because your partner isn't pulling their weight around the house. Instead of lashing out in frustration, you could use that anger to communicate clearly and set boundaries about the division of responsibilities. The key is to always have a plan. Think of your anger as an emergency exit. It's there to guide you toward something better, but you need to know which door to open. Developing a mindset for success. Channeling your anger into success requires a particular mindset, one that sees challenges as opportunities and setbacks as stepping stones. This mindset isn't about ignoring the negative, but about using it to build something better. One way to cultivate this is through positive self-talk. For every negative thought that anger stirs up, counter it with a positive affirmation or intention. For instance, if you find yourself thinking, "I can't believe they disrespected me," replace it with, "I am learning to stand up for my values and boundaries." This simple shift in thought can transform anger from a destructive force into one of empowerment. Another key to developing this mindset is reframing challenges. Instead of viewing anger-inducing situations as obstacles, see them as opportunities to grow, learn, and improve. Practical tools and techniques. There are plenty of practical tools to help you channel anger effectively. Journaling, for example, is an excellent way to take your thoughts and emotions out of your head and onto paper, where they can be analyzed and organized. Writing down what's triggering your anger not only helps you process it, but also allows you to develop a clearer action plan. This can be especially helpful in situations where anger feels overwhelming or hard to manage. Meditation and mindfulness are also great ways to calm the mind and shift focus from anger to action. These practices can help you center your thoughts on what's important and keep you from getting caught up in negative emotions. By focusing on your breath or a calming mantra, you give yourself space to think and react in more constructive ways. Another tool is strategic planning. Whenever you feel anger arising, ask yourself, what can I plan right now that will help me overcome this issue? It could be scheduling a meeting to address a conflict, writing a business proposal, or even mapping out a workout plan to channel frustration into physical progress. Planning takes your anger and turns it into forward momentum. Case studies and success stories. Let's bring these concepts to life with some real-world examples. Imagine you're an employee who's constantly being passed up for promotions despite putting in extra hours and delivering results. That anger might stem from feeling undervalued or unrecognized. Instead of letting it eat away at you, you could use that energy to start learning a new skill, looking for opportunities where your work will be appreciated, or even starting a side hustle. For instance, one woman I knew channeled her frustration with corporate politics into launching her own consulting business, and within a year, she was more successful and fulfilled than she'd ever been in her previous role. Or consider a stay-at-home parent who feels angry and frustrated with the daily grind of balancing family life and personal goals. Rather than suppressing that frustration, they could channel it into setting clear boundaries around personal time, finding support networks, or even starting a side business that reignites their passions. These stories show how ordinary people can turn everyday frustrations into stepping stones for growth and success. Creating your action plan. Let's move these ideas into a concrete action plan. Start by writing down what makes you angry, and then directly beside it, Note an action you could take to use that anger constructively. For example, if you're angry about being overlooked at work, your action might be to schedule a meeting with your manager to discuss your future with the company or to take on a new project that highlights your strengths. Another example, if you're frustrated with a lack of progress in your fitness journey, channel that anger into revamping your workout routine or seeking out a personal trainer. This action plan will serve as a daily reminder that you can direct your emotions in ways that benefit you, turning anger from a negative force into one of progress. Remember, it's about using your anger as a motivator, not a roadblock. Anger and personal boundaries. Anger often shows up when our personal boundaries have been crossed, and this can actually be a valuable tool for setting and enforcing those boundaries. For example, if you're constantly feeling frustrated because coworkers pile extra work on you, that anger might be telling you it's time to set firmer boundaries about what you can take on. It's your body and mind's way of signaling that something isn't aligned with your values or capacity. Once those boundaries are set, anger can help you maintain them by giving you the strength to assert yourself when necessary. This might mean saying no more often, communicating clearly with others about your limits, or taking time for yourself when needed. Using anger as a motivational tool. When we think of motivation, we often think of positive emotions like joy or excitement. But anger can be just as motivating, if not more so. If you're angry at yourself for not reaching a goal, use that emotion to push yourself harder. For example, maybe you've been putting off starting a fitness routine or a new project. Let your anger at the delay be the spark that gets you going. Similarly, if you feel overlooked or underestimated, let that frustration fuel your ambition to prove your worth, whether it's at work, in personal relationships, or even in your own self-development. Instead of feeling defeated by the obstacles, let anger become the fire that drives you to exceed expectations and achieve your goals. Physical techniques to channel anger. Physical activities can be an incredibly effective way to channel anger. Running, lifting weights, or engaging in high-energy sports like boxing can help release pent-up energy and clear your mind. These activities allow you to transform mental frustration into physical progress, which is both productive and cathartic. If you prefer a more calming approach, practices like yoga or breathwork can help you control your emotions, channeling them into mental clarity rather than physical outbursts. In yoga, for instance, holding difficult poses can mirror the discomfort of anger, teaching you to breathe through challenging situations and find inner calm. Similarly, martial arts teach discipline, control, and focus, making them excellent for turning anger into a powerful, controlled force. How anger can improve your relationships. Believe it or not, anger can improve relationships if handled correctly. Instead of letting anger turn into aggression, use it to be assertive. For example, if you're upset because a friend or partner has been taking you for granted, use that anger to clearly communicate your feelings and needs. This kind of honest, assertive communication can actually deepen your connections and prevent resentment from building up over time. Assertiveness also teaches others how to treat you, creating healthier dynamics. By addressing issues when they arise, rather than bottling them up, you pave the way for more respectful, fulfilling relationships. Sustaining long-term success with anger. Using anger for success isn't just a one-time thing, it can fuel long-term growth. By continuously setting new goals and using anger as a motivator, you can ensure lasting progress. Think about the times when anger has pushed you to complete a project, make a big life change, or stand up for yourself. That same fire can sustain your efforts over the long haul. However, it's important to avoid burnout. While anger can be energizing, too much of it can lead to exhaustion. Make sure to balance intense bursts of effort with self-care, relaxation, and moments of joy. This balance allows you to use anger in productive ways without letting it consume you. Conclusion. And there you have it, how to turn anger into success across all aspects of your life. Anger, when harnessed correctly, is not your enemy. It's a powerful motivator that can push you toward growth, innovation, and lasting achievement. Embrace it, manage it, and let it fuel your journey to success. If you found value in this video, hit that like button, comment below on how you plan to channel your anger, and don't forget to subscribe for more content like this. Also, make sure to stop by loveluxamore.com for my digital products and services, including vision board analysis, goal setting, and templates for setting up your vision board. See you next time.